What makes the island nation of Japan, with its mountainous landscape and limited land network, possess the second most powerful navy in the world? This is a question that has puzzled many. It's a tale of necessity, ingenuity, and a relentless pursuit of technological advancement. Japan's geographical position, surrounded by vast oceans and marked by towering mountains, inherently requires a robust naval force. The nation's survival, both economically and strategically, hinges on the sea. Maritime commerce is not just an option for Japan, it's a lifeline, a critical artery that fuels the heart of the nation. Historically, Japan recognized the importance of a formidable naval force early on. From the time of the samurai, when naval warfare was a crucial aspect of their military strategy, the Japanese understood the sea's significance. This understanding laid the groundwork for Japan's naval power, a power that would continue to grow and evolve over the centuries. The advent of the industrial age saw Japan's naval force undergo a radical transformation. The nation embraced modern technologies, incorporating steam power, ironclads, and eventually aircraft carriers and submarines into their naval fleet. This willingness to adapt and innovate catapulted Japan onto the world stage as a naval superpower. In the aftermath of World War II, Japan's naval force underwent another significant transformation. The nation focused on rebuilding and modernizing its navy, incorporating cutting-edge technology and developing advanced maritime strategies. Today, Japan's naval force is a testament to the country's resilience and technological prowess, standing as the second most powerful navy in the world. However, Japan's naval power is not just about military might, it's about maintaining the lifeblood of the nation, maritime commerce. It's about ensuring the safe passage of goods and people. It's about securing the nation's borders and safeguarding its people. The necessity of the Japanese naval force is not just a matter of military power, but also a critical component of Japan's commerce and overall survival. The enigma of Japan's naval power is therefore less of a puzzle and more of a testament to the nation's tenacity, innovation, and strategic brilliance. Japan's naval force, while formidable, has historically been cast in a light that ensures its ally status with the United States. But how sustainable is this position? In the changing dynamics of the world, Japan, a mountainous island nation, has relied heavily on its maritime force for commerce. Today, the land of the rising sun boasts the second most powerful navy in the world. Yet its naval force has always been portrayed in a manner that never makes its key ally, the United States, second-guess its loyalty. This approach worked during the Cold War, and it continued to work in the post-Cold War era. However, as the geopolitical landscape evolves, so too must Japan's position. In the face of shifting alliances, Japan can no longer play the role of a subservient ally that does as it's told. It's time for the nation to take more initiative. Japan needs to patrol its own zones, contribute to the greater whole, and adopt a more aggressive stance. This doesn't mean antagonizing its allies, but rather stepping up as a more active and influential player on the global stage. This shift requires a cultural change as well. Until recently, joining the military in Japan was often seen as a last resort for those who couldn't do anything else. But that perception needs to change. Japan's military, equipped with some of the most technologically advanced systems in the world, should be seen as a respectable and desirable career path. The country also must address its lack of combat experience since 1945. The War on Terror provided many countries with opportunities to gain combat experience and interface with the United States. However, with that war now over, Japan must find new ways to gain experience and prepare for potential threats, like those from Russia and China. The evolving global landscape calls for a shift in how Japan perceives and utilizes its naval force. As the world changes, so too must Japan's approach to its military might and global position. It's time for Japan to step up, take the initiative, and become an active player in this ever-changing world. In Japan, the military has often been perceived as a last resort for those who couldn't do anything else. How does this cultural outlook impact Japan's naval force? In the land of the rising sun, it's fascinating to note that the military, particularly the Navy, has long been regarded with a certain degree of cultural stigma. This isn't a viewpoint solely held by the older generation, mind you, but one that permeates through all levels of society. For decades, the military profession has been seen as a fallback option, a last-ditch effort for those who, for one reason or another, couldn't make their mark elsewhere. This perception, while deeply ingrained, is not without its consequences. It's created an unnecessary barrier, a mental blockade that has inadvertently held back a sector that's brimming with potential. Japan's navy, after all, is one of the most technologically advanced in the world. Its ships are equipped with state-of-the-art systems, its personnel trained in cutting-edge techniques, and yet, the cultural cringe towards the military has prevented it from fully realizing this potential. Now, the winds of change are slowly starting to blow. With the evolving geopolitical landscape, Japan finds itself in a unique position. The country is poised to play a more significant role in the global arena, and its naval force can be a strong pillar in this endeavor. But to do this, the cultural perception of the military needs a complete overhaul. The stigma associated with joining the Navy has to be dismantled. The narrative needs to change. It's high time that the military is seen not as a last resort, but as a viable, respectable, and even desirable career path. A shift in perspective can open the doors to a new generation of enthusiastic, driven individuals who can bring fresh ideas and energy to the table. By embracing this change, Japan can leverage its technological prowess to its fullest extent, transforming its navy into an even more formidable force. This isn't just about national security, it's about carving out a place for Japan in the New World Order, a place that's defined not by past stigmas, but by present strengths and future possibilities. A shift in cultural perception is vital to fully realize the potential of Japan's technologically advanced naval force. Since 1945, Japan's pacifist stance has meant no combat experience for its naval force. How does this affect Japan's global military standing? Imagine it this way: you've got the most advanced gaming console, but you've never actually played a game. You've got the gear, but you lack the hands-on experience. That's the situation with Japan's Navy. It's like a high-tech titan that's never stepped into the arena. For countries around the globe, the War on Terror provided a kind of proving ground. It was an opportunity to gain combat experience, to test their mettle, and to interface with the United States. But Japan, with its pacifist stance, didn't partake in this. Now that the War on Terror is over, that opportunity has vanished. So where can Japan turn to gain that much-needed experience? The options are limited, and none of them are particularly appealing. On one side, you've got Russia, on the other, China. But a conflict with either of these powers wouldn't be a low-risk, small-scale skirmish. No, it would be a high-stakes game, a game that Japan, with its lack of combat experience, isn't quite ready to play. So how can Japan bridge this experience gap? There's no clear-cut answer. One possibility is through rigorous drilling, not just with its own forces, but also alongside allies like the United States and Australia. But drills and simulations can only go so far. They can't fully replicate the unpredictability and intensity of real combat. The challenge here is not just about gaining experience, it's about changing a mindset that's been entrenched since the end of the Second World War. It's about preparing a pacifist nation for the possibility of conflict, without losing sight of the principles that have guided it for so long. The lack of combat experience presents a significant challenge to Japan's naval force, requiring creative solutions for training and preparation. In the modern era, cybersecurity is as important as physical military power. How does Japan fare in this regard? As we delve into the digital age, cybersecurity has become a cornerstone for any nation's defense. For Japan, a country that has been historically pacifist, this presents a unique challenge. Their belief that military activity is passé has inadvertently led to a lax attitude towards information control. The result? Japan is likely one of the most hacked countries on the planet. This isn't just a minor hiccup, but a gaping hole in their defense mechanism. Why? Because in today's interconnected world, information is power. The ability to protect one's own data and potentially infiltrate adversaries is a crucial aspect of modern warfare. In the context of Japan, their compromised cybersecurity poses a significant hurdle in their participation in deep information and technical sharing. Imagine developing an advanced submarine only to find its blueprints circulating on social media the next day. The risk of sensitive information leakage is real and concerning. This is a problem that needs immediate attention, especially if Japan wishes to collaborate with allies on high-tech projects. Fortunately, this is a problem that can be tackled. Cybersecurity isn't an insurmountable challenge, but rather a field that requires consistent effort and adaptability. By investing in cutting-edge technology, training a skilled workforce, and fostering a culture of cybersecurity awareness, Japan can fortify its digital defenses. This isn't just about preventing hacks and data leaks. It's about protecting national security, maintaining confidential information, and ensuring the integrity of their military and governmental systems. It's about building a safe, secure digital environment for its people and its allies. In other words, strengthening cybersecurity isn't just a short-term fix. It's an essential long-term investment. It's a critical component of Japan's future naval force and overall national security. Improving cybersecurity is not just a short-term fix for Japan, but a critical component of its future naval force and overall national security.